Hello everyone, my name is Wayne.
And I'm Rebecca.
And we are your Bourbon Journey.
Welcome to our very first Whiskey of the Month taste-off. We decided to pick 4 whiskeys from our tastings in January. And we narrowed it down to 4 finalists that we're going to be tasting blind today. Those 4 finalists include Frey Ranch 4-grain farm cut, Old McBrayer Bourbon single barrel, Penelope wheated bourbon, and Starlight Family Reserve single barrel bourbon selected by Blake. So I'm pretty excited to have our first one of these.
That's a really good list. They were all excellent taste.
So we're going to go through one by one and see what we think. So let's start out with number 1 and just talk about it, what we're getting.
Uno one.
It's a pretty dark color. And it's going to be interesting because this lineup has a 4-grain, it has a wheated, and then it has a couple big, single barrel bourbons.
Single barrels, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
Got some heavyweights.
Oh, it's got a great nose. Almost some chocolate note there.
Some confectionery sugar.
Oh, and some
a little bit of chocolate,
dark
a little bit of
spices.
cinnamon.
I'm just digging this nose. Oh
There's
wow,
a lot
it is
going
good.
on. There's something else in there that I'm not identifying.
Like I said, I'm getting some chocolate, some nutmeg. I'm even getting some oak on the nose.
I'm getting thirsty. So
well, here's the sample one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Chocolate.
Oh my gosh, it is so
Chocolate.
good. It is just like chocolate, and it's got a little milkiness to it, like milk chocolate. It's not as dark chocolate. I'm so accustomed to dark chocolate. And a little bit of caramel. It's like a dark chocolate covered caramel with sea salt. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Sprinkle with nutmeg and sit in a barrel.
I'm getting chocolate. I'm getting leather.
Oh yeah, the barrel notes are coming through. Mm-hmm.
Big time. I want to try this again. Let's try and see what the finish is.
There's a dark fruit on it too.
It's a black pepper. There's barrel.
Mm-hmm. Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, I would agree, because it's got a little bit of a burn in the back. Not a bad one. Not a bad one, and it's
a long finish.
It is a long finish.
And I'm picking it date. I'm thinking that's the dark fruit that I'm getting is a little bit of date. But it was a little hard to find because the chocolate is so dominant.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, shall we cleanse our palate and go to number 2?
Yep. Number 2.
Oh, that's a different nose for sure.
Oh yeah.
This one's more confectionery.
That's a good word.
And lighter, brighter. I mean, it's not super light on color. As we look at the color, it's lighter than number 1, but it's probably a medium amber. It's not super light.
I'm almost getting a hint of mint.
Which is interesting because we don't have any rye in this.
I know. I'm getting a slight rye, but I know it's not a rye.
But it could be a high rye bourbon.
True.
I can't remember the mash bills of everything, so shall we go ahead and taste it?
There's something else.
What is that?
Yes, it's funny. That's like one thing. There's something I'm not putting my finger on it. I really like.
It's kind of a barley note.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a certain kind of graininess. That's really almost cereal grain like, but it's sweet. It's like you took your favorite cream of wheat or oatmeal and you put brown sugar on it and a little bit of some kind of fruit slices on it, maybe some strawberries with it. It's just got it's really good. Wow. And it's got a great finish too.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at right now. The finish is cinnamon. The finish is white pepper in this case.
I would buy that, yeah.
And pretty good.
I think it's a good one too.
And the barley.
This is not going to be easy.
The barley is what I'm picking up, but there is something else in this that I have not figured out yet. Flipping through its index
as we try to look at these. Okay, number 3, the sample. It's kind of similar. It might be a little bit lighter, but it's still probably a medium amber. Sometimes the lights throw it off a little bit. If we weren't under lights, it might be a little different. got some legs forming, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
lot different.
That is very different. That is very citrusy.
Yes.
Very citrusy.
There's a little bit of honeysuckle.
Uh-huh. And
Very citrus.
almost lemon zest.
Yes.
It's very citrusy.
Let's go ahead and try it.
Okay.
Number 3. Wow, and the taste matches
The nose.
I mean, you heard everything we said about the nose. It's the flavor. Pulls through.
It's almost like a really sweet lemonade,
Mm-hmm.
which is really weird because we just tasted these in January and I cannot remember anything that tasted like
No,
this. I'm really confused
I'm really
now.
confused. I'm
My
curious.
mind is going crazy.
I am really curious what this is. I think I know. We'll find out at the end. It's pretty good.
It's very good.
Let's try to get the
Try
finish.
to get the finish on it. You wouldn't think we wouldn't recognize this at all. That has got a really long finish.
Citrus in the back. Citrus in the back for days.
Yeah.
Lemon.
It's just lasting and lasting. And maybe white pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't remember that profile like
No,
that.
I don't. I'm really that one I'm really interested because everything else is kind of familiar until that.
This one's kind of golden.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really pretty color. It's got some legs forming. It's got some really nice body. Oh.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. This is very pastry-like.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This one rings very familiar.
It's pastry and icing, like a Danish
I'm getting a lot
apricot.
of. I'm getting wheat.
And I'm getting apricot Danish. Let's taste it. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Cheers.
No, I think this one's lighter proof than the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But that flavor profile is still right there.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about proof on the other ones. We could probably go back on our second round and talk about that a little bit if we wanted to. But I do feel like, I feel like this is probably a wheater.
I think I know which one it is.
Well, it doesn't matter. What we really care about is which one we like the
I
best.
understand. The others, I'm not sure. It could be this one here. I think this is the one. If I had to place a bet on what it is, I think I know which one it is.
Let's go ahead and taste it for the finish. It's a very solid finish. Maybe not as long and lingering as the other three.
Little honey.
Yeah, got some honey notes in the finish. Still some sweet things coming through.
There's the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
It was sitting in that barrel. The barrel.
This is going to be really tough. I didn't dislike anything. Otherwise we probably wouldn't have put it in here. So let's go through and let's talk about, let's figure out which nose do we find most inviting, just for fun.
Okay, so just pick the nose.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, don't pick your nose.
Well, you can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friends. But you can pick your friend's nose, maybe. All right.
What, do you have a favorite nose?
1.
I'm 1 then 4 on noses.
I'm 1 and 3.
This isn't picking anything, but okay, let's go ahead and
Taste
taste it again, and
All right.
we can kind of just taste it and see if we find anything different than we did the first time around, and see if the finish changed at all. Because now we're really acclimated, our palates are really fired up.
Mm-hmm.
That is really good. That chocolate is still there. It's got a great finish. It already won me over on the nose. This is going to be really hard to beat.
Number 2, I was about ready to say it the previous time. Number 2, there is a bubble gum on the nose for me.
I just got nuttiness, and I didn't have nuttiness the first time, did I?
No,
I'm getting nuts this time.
you're getting nuts and I'm getting bubble gum.
And it's kind of it's a peanut. And we don't have any Jim Beam in here. So I'm just saying.
I am getting the nuttiness on there, but I'm also getting bubble gum. That is really
That's
weird.
really funny. I'm not, but that's okay. It's still really, really good.
Number 3.
All right. I don't know how we're going to pick. This one's just really different on the nose.
Oh, yeah.
It's different and it's good, but it's probably my least favorite nose.
Well, this one I like the second.
It's a solid taste, though. We done 4 yet?
I just started.
Do you have a 4th place?
Yeah. 4th place.
I'll go first if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm bouncing.
I'm putting 3 out. 4th.
Here's.
It's a great drink.
I'm bouncing 4 out.
And I'm going 4 third.
Okay.
Because these are my bangers. So I could go with either one of these.
I'm bouncing 3 out.
Let's keep them in order, though. Right? That's how you went.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right. So this is going to be tough.
All right.
I'm going to have to do a side-by-side for a minute.
I'll do it, but I think I know it.
Gosh, they're both really, really good. What do you think?
Hold on.
We'll move at the same time. We'll move to
Okay.
we'll move our second one up.
Second one up.
All right, we both picked one.
We both picked one.
I'm glad we don't have to have a tiebreaker. So we both picked 1. We both picked 2. The only thing we differed on was 3 and 4. So shall we just go? You just want to go with your order? We'll go with 4 first.
Okay.
Let's see who was 4. 4 is sample A. Sample A is, let me check it out.
Yep. That's what I thought.
Sample A in 4th place was Penelope.
That's what I thought, and that is honestly no knock on Penelope at all. This one is a excellent weeder. This, I think, if I had to talk about, say, Maker's Mark, it's a weeder, I would pick this over Maker's Mark.
Oh, it's a fantastic weeder, and it's a bargain price. You know, it's comparable with Maker's on the pricing, but it's just got a little something about it. I think it has a little something different because it is a 4 grain, and if I'm correct, it's 7% rye, so you're getting a little bit of that spice hint in there that you don't normally get in a weeder. Well, let's see what number 3 is. C, Frey Ranch.
Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
We have never had Frey Ranch before we review this one.
Yes.
We've heard great things about it. We think great things about it. It just came in 3rd for the month for us of all the whiskeys we tried. It is a 4 grain.
We sat on this one for a while when we first tried it, and it is really good.
So we know what the last 2 are. So do we want to pull out the first one first or the second place one first? Second?
We go to second.
All right, second is number 2. Let's do D. Sample D. Sample D is Old McBrayer.
Wow, I'm shocked. I actually thought that was 1. I was really wondering about that. That is interesting. So we know what the other one is because we know what the 4 bottles are, but just to make sure we're correct, sample 1 is B. Is Starlight.
Which is Starlight Family Reserve, and it was Blake's pick. It was the one we did the very first of the month. So it's been a long time. Blake Huber, dang.
I'm floored.
I mean, we love all of these. These 2 are coveted by us. So, I mean, we were at their dinner when they released these. It was fantastic. I had a gut feeling it might be them because of the chocolate notes, because I don't recall getting chocolate on Old McBrayer.
I've gotten that before. And, well, in case you're wondering out there, because if you heard McBrayer, and they are our cousins and friends, and it is an excellent bourbon.
But this is the old McBrayer. It's a single barrel, and it was the first time they ever offered single barrels this year. So,
and it's really outstanding. And this is the one that I said I was picking up bubblegum on.
Yeah,
that's funny. I'm still getting bubblegum on it.
I didn't get bubblegum, but the nuttiness I did. And I remember I said, I know we don't have a Jim Beam, but it had that nuttiness like you get with a Jim Beam. But these are all fantastic. If you come across any of these, I would highly recommend them. I do believe, I mean, this is very readily available. So is Frey Ranch. Old McBrayer you can buy online. I'm not sure if this specific single barrel is available, but they do have several other Old McBrayer single barrels available online. Starlight, this one you'd probably have to get at the distillery, but think about selecting it's an 8.5-year-old bourbon, and it's 119 proof, I believe. Yeah, 119 proof. Yeah, just to show you what some of the differences were across the board. Penelope is 4 to 6 years old. It is 74% corn, 16% wheat, 7% rye, 3% malted barley, and it's 95 proof. It went for $35. The Frey Ranch is a 4-grain. It's 120.62 proof, and I don't think it drank that hot.
No, it did not.
It's aged at least 4 years. It's 66.6% non-GMO dent corn, 12% two-row barley, which is why we're getting so much barley on that one. It's 12% barley. It's 11.4% winter rye and 10% soft winter wheat. So that, remembering now that it had that high barley content, is explaining why I was getting more of that barley note. The Old McBrayer single barrel, the Old McBrayer mash bill is 70% corn, 18% rye, and 12% barley. So again, a 12% barley. It is 4 years old and it's 122 proof. Those two were very close on proof. And then the Starlight Family Reserve was aged 8.5 years. So it is the oldest one of the group. It's the oldest. So probably why we're getting more of those barrel notes on it. It was the darkest for sure. It was 119.3 proof. I mean, this was a great lineup. Congratulations to all four because they were phenomenal. Would you agree?
Yeah. I would totally agree. And no knock on any of them. Starlight,
knocked it out of the park.
That's a really good one. And once again, it does show, I mean, even though I'm in McBrayer, in a blind, you never know what will happen. And really, none of these are bad. Actually, all four of these that you're looking at right now are a buy and a backup buy. And
or find something similar to it that they have.
And if we were going to get into a discussion for a few seconds of price, the Penelope at $35 is probably the best buy of the four.
Penelope was actually $36.99 for us. The Frey Ranch, $86.99. The Old McBrayer was $85. So second place at $85 is a really good price point. And the Starlight was $99.99. So
they all came in under 100.
This was way lower.
Yeah.
These were very close.
I mean, for a price point, Penelope is definitely a buy and back up. You can probably back it up a couple times. But I'll say this. You have these on your bar or in your house, you are really doing well. This is some good stuff.
Well, I want to add one more comment about our finalists here. So Penelope is an Indiana distilled. Starlight is Indiana distilled. Frey Ranch is Nevada, and Old McBrayer is Kentucky. So we have three states represented.
Exactly.
So and two of them are Indiana. Shocking.
It is.
So there you go.
So I'll pick up glass number 1. Starlight, you do a great job out there. We love the dinner that we went to, which is where we got the bottle. Cheers.
Every visit has been great.
It has been. Cheers to you and cheers to all of you. And thank you for making such great bourbon out there. And we look forward to doing this again in February. Cheers.
Cheers.